Okay, here we go. Just doing a small recap from this past Saturday's meeting. Okay, so I shared like the platform tools I like, and then showed folks the sector rotation tool. I don't think a lot of folks have seen that. Talked about AAII sentiment data, the fear and greed index, and retail fish chatter, which is always cool. That was the kind of recap. Again, it's on the website if you want to check my stuff out. And um, PJ, John, and Dennis showed some really cool analytical tools with wealth charts and whatnot. So also the Diamond JavaScript overlay. I forgot what the tool is called. Diamond Diamond Tricks or something.
Diamond tricks.
Yeah. I have the link in one of my other several windows somewhere. But yeah. Cool. So yeah, definitely want to explore those things over the weekend. But yeah, hopefully you guys can check it out. And this is the word of the day from last week that we forgot to go over, but I found this somewhere. A, a, kakistocracy is a government run by the worst, least qualified, and most unscrupulous citizens. So a good new fun word besides kill vehicle. All right. Let's run our quick brief poll, and I would love to see your guesses on where you see the S&P going by next Thursday. And I'll set the poll on your screen. If you could cast your vote.
9,000.
9,000. What is SPX at right now?
Better buy the 9,000 call.
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, 54, 5074. Oh my gosh, incredible. All right, cool. All right, let me end the poll and share the results. All right, so we got 63% bullish, 25% sideways, and 13% bearish. All right, very cool. And we'll do this poll again at the end of the session to see if it's changed at all. All right, cool. So we went over announcements, and we have an operations meeting next Monday if you're really bored and would like to join us and listen to old grouchy option traders growl at each other for 2 hours.
What time to start?
Let's see.
7.
7.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it's kind of cool. And idiot of the week, we have a lot of them. I was trying to filter, but I found like a lot of them were so good. All right, this moron OD'd at UC Berkeley. He is the son of the recently departed founder of, well, not founding, I guess longtime CEO of YouTube, Susan. It's like a Polish last name, but whatever. She has been like, oh, who's that? She's been kind of like the Antichrist at YouTube, and with the censorship, it has been insane.
Yeah.
And in a way, this is partially her fault because she has censored so much, so many news articles and channels related to the border crisis, fentanyl, all kinds of stuff. And surprise, surprise, rich kid at a very leftist school ODs. Like, and that means he had a habit of self-medication and whatnot. And this guy looks really short and pretty puny. So probably bullied, whatever. And yeah, he's dead. So that just happened. So new idiot of the week. It's a tragedy, but it's also not in a way. There was a good quote. I'm trying to remember the comment. Like, it's not a big deal when other kids die, but when her kid dies, all of a sudden she cares about drugs coming across the southern border. Like, how many sacrifices until you had to make that conclusion? So yeah, not a great moment for the Google subsidiary here. But yeah, okay, idiot of the week. Let's talk about the market in general and NVIDIA that's holding up the NASDAQ and everything else with it. This stuff blows my mind. So this is, I guess, relatively speaking, a success story. So this was posted 6 days ago. This guy started with 1500s and he starts YOLOing short-term option contracts. So his position sizing of 100%, right? Just maxing out everything. And it was almost all NVIDIA calls of a splash of coin, not entirely smooth ride, but overall happy, keeping half the next week through earnings, holding other half back in case things go south.
Wow.
So this guy's probably quadrupled this if he's been on the same rampage. But how many times can you bet that the coin flip will come up tails? And that's basically what these kids are doing. So, if you have, 100,000 traders, somebody's got to win, but the body count is also massive. And it's funny, lots of the comments are, F you. And that's literally the best praise you can get, which is pretty honest if you've ever checked out these forum posts. Okay, but
How long did it take him, Warren, to grow
one
his account from
1 month.
1 month?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's just insane.
Wow.
But yeah. Here's the world economy, and it's carrying the Nasdaq, the ES, poor Nvidia. And then there's lots of great Nvidia memes this week. But yes, normal heartbeat, deceased heartbeat, Nvidia earnings week. Good times. And then this was made before today, but let's see. This is folks reminding folks. This company isn't worth more than Amazon, but the stock price says otherwise. So yeah, we'll see how people deal with the upcoming crash. I thought this is hilarious. This is a great meme too. So, here's a Magnificent Seven or a good chunk of them, right? And here's NVIDIA holding on to the ejector or the trunk release here. So that's fun. And I think I have one more. Oh, in case you didn't know, oh my God, I almost didn't want to post this because I immediately knew Wani would go crazy with this, but there is a 2xer leverage product for NVIDIA. So yeah, be careful with this. But yeah, this is NVDL. Let's just take a quick look. All right, so this is a 2xer of NVIDIA. Let's see, I haven't looked at if it says an option chain. So it looks like there's monthlies. How's the bid-ask spread? Ooh, several dozens of contracts per strike. It's a little dangerous. But if you do want some leverage, I guess this could be a way to do that. So yeah, here's a 2xer. Please be careful. All right. All right. More potential idiots of the week and trading madness. If Reddit will load.
Yeah, I'm not hearing audio. Sorry.
Is it
Yeah,
okay? Oh, I
it's
saw
okay
like
now.
internet unstable on my side, so that's probably me. Okay. Hopefully everything's okay. Okay, here's another idiot of the week. This guy started with 180 bucks, went to 200K, went to 40K, and now is back at 180 something. So, so this guy had insane luck with SPY, Mara, and then SMCI. Went up to 190K yesterday, and then full ported super micro calls, didn't sell right at the open. Blah blah blah. Lost 400,000 unrealized gains. Greed got to me with the dip. Well, I'm putting back 40,000 into super micro calls today. Let's see what happens. So these are the psychos that are buying our options. So I just want to show you, the counterparty risk, and it is substantial. So yeah, that's fun. Let's see. And then you can imagine this guy. Let's see, this guy YOLO'd everything into super micro. Hopefully he's still alive to trade today. I imagine a lot of these folks got wiped out the last 2-3 days. But yeah, this guy, you can see that vertical drop. So yeah, crazy folks. I think this is one of our final idiots of the week. Let's see. Lost job, money, and hope at 24. Need advice and comeback stories. Anyone make a big comeback after hitting rock bottom? So there is a body count of folks who aren't willing to, bet that the coin flips heads, for the 10th time. And yeah, let's see. This guy, he's made 20,000 3 times in the last 4 months from $1,000, but also has lost his account 3 times. I know I don't learn. My risk management is terrible, and I keep trying different strategies and listening to different people, and I haven't found a way that constantly works for me. That's a wrong expectation right there, but sure. But now I feel like giving up. I feel like a disappointment and I hit rock bottom. I sold my long-term holdings and my crypto to play options and lost them all. Criticize me. I deserve it. Um, this is a beautiful picture. Stop buying options. And I know a lot of us are not beginners anymore, but at some point you grow up and realize selling options is the path to sanity. And you can always go back to buying options like Eversley Forte and stuff, but until you cross that divide and learn the world of selling credit spreads, I don't think your eyes really open to what's possible. But yeah, it's a huge paradigm shift to go from buying volatility to selling volatility. But yeah, I thought this was a funny comment. I think I pasted here. Yeah, I pasted here too. Oh, sorry, we got a couple more losers to look at really quick. I think those are really educational, so please bear with me before we get to our news cycle. All right, this guy, 860K, went to 500,000, now at 1.2 million. Just massive swings. It's been a fucking roller coaster. Losing almost 400K in 2022, slowly building it back up. The last 2 months have been absolutely insane. I've gone parabolic. I think we're at the summit for now. My dog walker has mentioned NVIDIA and Supermicro. I'm out, boys. So the shoe shine boy is talking about GPUs and whatnot. So maybe it's time to go the other side. Let's see. Got a couple more losers. Let's go through them quickly. This guy went from under $1,000 to 42,000 by calling puts at the very top of Supermicro. And this is 6 days old, so I don't know if he's even alive today, but it's just incredible. Yeah, just pure madness. Okay. Here is someone who shorted Palo Alto Networks. And that was also a rip your face off disaster post earnings. And this guy turned 6,000 into 250,000. Like,
Wow.
it's just pure insanity. Yeah, insanity. Let's see this other guy. 150K to 3 million, 20x gain on 0 DTE. This guy's trading just the Nasdaq primarily. Yeah, just hustling 0 DTE on Nasdaq. It's pretty juicy. But yeah, this guy made a lot of money quickly. 3 mil in how many minutes? It's just insane. But yeah, big bankrolls and you're willing to YOLO money and play 0 DTE. I mean, yeah, one bad day and you'll be wiped out, but sure. So yeah, that's possible. And I thought this was now for a voice of reason from the internet. I thought this was decent. Are we all just effing idiots? This guy had an epiphany about Zoom, and he's talking about Zoom stock was at all-time highs during COVID, and a vast amount of people, including me, didn't short it. The chart was so fucking obvious, blah, blah, blah. Their revenue is gonna go up when no shit, their revenue is gonna go up when everyone is remote, and no fucking shit, it's going to go down when remote ends. People will say the same thing about NVIDIA and Supermicro one day. But yeah, I think our group was one of the earliest groups to catch Zoom on its reversal and descent back into realistic valuations. But yeah, so yeah, those are a couple handful of idiots. Yeah, just a crazy market. I still gotta look up the Super Bowl stuff. I left that here. This week's non-idiocy is brought to us by Toyota. I'm not sure if I showed this chart before, but Toyota has quite outperformed Tesla. So I thought this was kind of fun chart. And I think this gap will widen as we deleverage from EV products in general.
Well,
Cool.
when you say outperform, do you mean in price or market capitalization or what?
That is a great point. Let me go back to the post that I saved. Let me see.
It's not going to be market cap.
I guess this is percentage for price action, looks like. Off of Huifeng? Yeah. I think this is just percentages. But yeah,
Okay.
probably not market cap. Great point. Okay. Cool. Let's see. And what did Flavius share with us? Market charts of presidential election years. Oh, this is fun. Wow. Which era matches us? When was Volcker in? Probably here-ish. But yeah, very cool. I'll have to play with this later. Thanks, Flav. Okay, cool. And then welcome Mike Duda. Let me paste the notes in the chat. Oh, and is this are these screenshots from the almanac?
The 24 almanac.
Oh, okay. Because I don't have this. I was like, this formatting looks very familiar.
So it's an update 2024 of presidential.
So that means I do have to buy the new update. Oh, okay. I guess I should. I should support. Cool. Shout out to Larry for recommending this book. I'm about halfway. It's just there's lots of jewels here. It's an incredible book on the inequity of fair trade, and free trade is just a moniker for globalism. So yeah. Here's our anti-idiocy tips, our unofficial SVOG trading rules. Always like to point that out. But yeah, let's go into the charts and do our index overview and get a sense of the market today. All right, cool. So let's see. Yes, it's just flying, and wow, no stopping this freight train. Excellent day. And let's check out the numbers. So it looks like the smart money here is a little bit bearish. They're trying to hedge for anything else that can happen. So fair value is 1.4 on a put call ratio, and we're seeing a lot of bets on the 0 to 20 deltas. They're buying cheap insurance for sure. And let's go to the big boy option contracts, the second tier of the supposed smart money. All right, 1.342. That's a normal trading day. Fair value there. The sizzle index is still broken. There's also a merge happening officially on the platform side between Schwab and TOS that rolls out in March. You guys probably got the email. And if you're like me, you're panicking as well. So we'll see what's up. And if it's time to migrate to a different brokerage, we'll figure it out together. All
Well,
right.
they did at least seem to understand the idea that they better not fuck around with toss.
Emphasis on not F around. Yeah, let's Ameritrade, Schwab, yeah. Why is this page broken?
They'll just F around slowly so you don't see it, like a frog in boiling water.
Yeah, I'm a little scared, but we'll figure it out. Yeah, I guess the website doesn't say too much, but yeah, it's coming in May. So in case we need to park some money elsewhere, we should maybe get ready. All right, let's check out SPY. Check out how this is looking. This is the retail side of the house, and of course, it's more optimistic than ES by a long shot, and a bit more optimistic than SPX. And the deltas don't scream urgency at all. it's not superheated, according to these folks. Let's look at the tech sector or the tech-centric index and check out the NASDAQ. Poor NVIDIA is carrying this whole stack by themselves, and it's pretty bullish today. Fair value is also about 1.4, and we see pretty nicely evenly spread deltas. So yeah, it's just a solid green day. Everyone's ecstatic and counting their NVIDIA gains, and then doubling down and then adding more money to Supermicro while they're at it. And then here's the Russell 2000. This is the more schizophrenic of the indexes, and fair value and the put call ratio is 2.3, and this is living at 0.8. So very out of character optimism from the schizophrenic bunch of indexes, which is interesting. And if we go to the diamonds is like the kid that likes to eat glue, from elementary school. That's kind of a retard. No one really likes to play with this guy. It's traded very thinly, and it's about 1.2 on the put call ratio. And fair value for the diamonds is about 1.0. So yeah, looks like the indexes are all sending a bunch of different signals, but on the more retail side of things, people are flamingly optimistic. So that's good for them. All right, cool. And let's see, VIX has taken a nosedive, down 6.5% from yesterday's high of 15 something, today to 1434. Unbelievable. All right, let's jump back to our notes. Let's go to AAII sentiment data from the American Association of Individual Investors, the buy and hold fanatics. Let's see, we are a little bit more bullish than last week, but not quite the February 7th high of that week. And yeah, looks like the bearish crowd has stayed about the same size. Just the mid ground has decreased slightly. Okay, good to know. Let's check out the Fear and Greed Index. Specifically, we want to look at the market breadth indicator, and this figure is still in the 70s value. And here's stock price strength, which is comparing 52-week highs versus 52-week lows on the exchange. And we're still on the heavy side of 52-week highs. So we got a greed signal there. And with stock price breadth, this is looking at the overall number of shares rising versus the number of shares that are falling. And we're kind of in a mid value here. So this is probably say neutral rather than greed. And of course, we're obsessed about the put call ratio here. And the 2019 high and the COVID high was north of 2.0. So this is only 0.72. So market is still very optimistic compared to those nuclear events back then. And as you can see, here's a nice overlay of the VIX and that nice 50-day MA. And yeah, so much for being called a supposed fear index. But yeah, this is just a measure of the inverse volatility of the SPX. And since that's been ripping upwards in this melt up, this will stay subdued. All right. And Stock Traders Almanac, I guess I do need to get the newer edition. Let me write that down. 2024.
Yeah, if you, Warren, if you say that you're from SVOG, he may give you a discount.
Oh, okay. He is a past speaker. Cool. Or unless there's more handy screenshots from Flav that he can share. That would be nice. All right, let's check out the February read. February is the weak link in the best 6 months. Recent record. We'll skip this since it's a little bit outdated from this. I think the 2018 book. It's the fourth best NASDAQ month in midterm election years. Average gain of 1%. Yada 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 yada. Day before President's Day weekend, S&P is down 17. Blah 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 blah. That actually was green for this year. Many technicians modify market predictions based on January's market. So yeah. Let's take a look at February. This might be helpful. Mid-month strength and late-month weakness. Recent record, S&P 13 up, 8 down, average 1.8%. Rather turbulent in recent years with wild fluctuations and large gains and losses. March has been taking some mean end-of-quarter hits. Last 3 or 4 days, Dow a net loser, 18 out of the last 28. NASDAQ hard hit in 2001. Third best NASDAQ month during midterm election years, average gain of 1.7%. Third Dow month to gain 1,000 points in 16. So could be a juicy and volatile March. All right. So here's sector rotation. Just for everyone's ease, I posted screenshots in advance. We'll load this in just a second, but here's the sectors as a whole. We're seeing a nice rebound in energy stocks, and technology was slightly overheated and slowing down. And then I also did a screenshot of our favorites. And of course, top loser is still natural gas. And next to it are a lot of Chinese stocks. No surprises there. Oh, if you guys were at East Bay Options Group last night, I find it fascinating that I'm the only voice of reason against Jonathan Massey's passionate like for Chinese tech stocks. Like, I understand he made the iShares product back in the day, but it just blows my mind that, you know, Americans are okay with doing business with, you know, serial killers. It's like,
That was a different day. We were gonna civilize them then.
oh God. Yeah, I just don't understand. And then I got into a pissing fight in a private thread in that meeting with Jonathan Massey's pickleball partner. I won't say his name, but him being Asian, I went a little bit hard, and Warren's zero politeness came out. I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? But yeah. Yeah. I mean, people who, yeah, go long on Chinese tech stocks, you know, like, yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's look at the data. Okay, so this is a beautiful 5-week tail. Each chunk is a week, and long tails indicate a lot of price action. So we're seeing energy tech stocks rip up really nicely. And we saw this sector rotation from Berkshire Hathaway's 13F last week with Warren Buffett, right? He's moving a lot of money into Occidental Oil and has decreased his other positions. And I got a nice screenshot of Bill Gates's foundation, and we'll look at his 13F in just a second. So yeah, we're seeing real estate fall apart here. But that sector's been overvalued for a long time, and it's maintained that. But yeah, we're seeing a slowdown in real estate, tech, and yeah, energy stocks are starting to rebound. So yeah, we'll see how that shakes up. Any tickers you guys want to throw in here on the individual side? Here's a more popular one, has crypto miners and whatnot. Let's of course throw in Super Micro. Any tickers, you can call it out or just type them out. Thanks, Flaw, for the earnings. EEM, emerging markets, always a fan. Let's throw in some Brazil, of course. Some Korea, some Taiwan. We got to throw in some Taiwan, of course. All right. Let's check out sector rotation. And as you can see, Super Micro is top dog, and it's right here. And wow, it wasn't popular about 6 to 8 weeks ago. It was right here in the weakening sector, but wow, Super Micro, Mara. Oh yeah, let's add in Rivian for Linda. And where's Rivian? Where did it go? If you can't see it, that's not a good thing. Where's Rivian? Okay.
Rivian had earnings today and it got hammered.
Yeah, that was
Also had a 10% layoff.
Yeah.
What's the net
Delta.
loss per car? It's a lot, right? Yeah.
40
Ooh.
grand.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Ouch. Rivian is worse than Upstart and natural gas. It is that bad. That's impressive. But high flyers do include the crypto miners, Super Micro, Palantir,
Mara.
Space, Nvidia. Here is the 2xer Gush. That's a combo of oil and gas. and that's been incredible. TSM's doing well, Amazon, Ford, yeah. But yeah, Chinese tech stocks are crowding the bottom, so that's fantastic. And Rivian, let's look up Rivian dealerships. They are pretty EVs, relatively speaking. Let's see. First retail space. Does Rivian have dealerships? Looks like they do the similar Tesla approach of direct to sales model. And most states are extremely hostile to that because you have entrenched monopolies. Are they hiring? Can I'm curious. If all their listings are empty, that's a clue. Let's see. What are they hiring for? CFO? Search jobs. Um, let's see. And to a certain extent, open roles kind of give you a clue to the team as well. Oh, we don't have time to parse through 1,000 job listings, but yeah, they're hiring a lot still. Okay, so the bleeding will continue. But yeah, not sure about their sales process. Yeah. Okay. Would you guys like to add anything else in here? Or does Dave need the screenshot? I can zoom out a little bit.
I'm good. Don't worry about it.
Okay, cool.
I'm
And I did the screenshot for you, Dave, just in case on our notes, if you want to grab it here too. All right, cool. If you guys want to revisit the sector rotation tool, we can always come back. All right, let's go to our next thing. As promised, the 13F from Bill Gates. This format is it's a little cut off, but let's see. Substantial divesting. Actually, let's just go to the formal Bill Gates 13F filing. Looks like he's moving a lot of money, and we should study this. All right. Okay, let's see all holdings. Change in ownership. Oh, change one. Okay, change. Sorry. Okay. Okay, let's sort by changes. Oh, sorry. Change. Okay. Divesting out of TMO. Oh, really? Shit, that's one of my long-term holdings. That's scary. I mean, if you like nanotech, there's only a couple players that make instrumentation at that level. It's only 3 countries really: America, Germany, and Japan. And TMO is the dominant player in America for developing instruments. Okay, what else? What is this? Technology ETF? Invesco Bank, Visa, divested 100%. Broadcom, Consumer Staples, PNC Financial Services, Amazon. What's TT? Train Technologies, AMAT, Applied Materials here. Ameriprise, Morgan Stanley, Pepsi, yeah. What is NSC? Norfolk Southern? That's a train, right? Merck & Co. Okay. Disney, Home Depot, Amgen, Target, Raytheon, really? Why would you not go long on Tomahawks? What's SLB? Slumberger. What is that again? Energy? Procter & Gamble, Pfizer, Lockheed Martin. Wow.
Yeah, Schlumberger is like, I think they deal with like petroleum business and things like that. So,
Okay.
It's oil.
yeah.
But yeah, lots of divesting, guys. That is pretty intense. We don't have time to look at everything, but he's selling everything from
Yeah, he's probably putting it all into super micro.
I would think he's going to put it into those Bitcoin ETFs or something.
Yeah. Yeah, somebody is pruning his portfolio. And there wasn't most of those he had hardly any holdings.
Yeah. And he only added he had to add nothing. They're all sell-offs. Yeah. Oh, Mike wants to look at GCT. let's throw that really in. Let's throw that in quickly. Where is this GCT? What is GCT? GCT number 2. Oh, Giga Cloud Technology. Looks like a super micro chart. Where is that here? Oh, right here. Okay, number 2. That's incredible. Okay. That didn't show up on my scanner. That's okay. But yeah, that's the 13F. Interesting. Okay. Earnings. We got to talk NVIDIA, of course. Let's look at NVIDIA. Or let's look at where NVIDIA is now first. And let's look at the betting public really quickly. All right, NVIDIA up 15% for the day. Explosive gap up. We are seeing this put call ratio was worse in the morning. It's gotten better now. But folks are a little bit scared of this exuberance. And let's go to the chart. You know, I'm really glad we're not RSI obsessed here, but looking at on balance volume, we're still seeing lots of strong inflows, but it is not as strong as say like a week ago. And this is kind of like trying to fight gravity or the tides. You can't really do it. In the long run, momentum dictates everything. But for the short term, yeah, anything could happen. So yeah. It's still really strong. So not quite the time to short NVIDIA just yet. Yeah. Okay. And let's check our article. So yes. Let's see. It smashed estimates, beat revenue as well. Let's see. Data center revenue up 409% year over year. That's wild. Gaming revenue up 58% year over year. Professional visualization, not sure what that is up 11% year over year. Automotive revenue is down 4.4%. But this is only 281 million versus, multiple billions on the data center side.
Why does NVIDIA have any auto revenue?
Let's
AI and self-driving cars.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
But EVs aren't too popular anymore, especially self-driving ones. They tend to run into things and drag
Yes, I've noticed.
along.
Yep.
Well, I hope they aren't using any of their AI software to falsify their earnings.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, so that's NVIDIA for you. That's fun. Palo Alto plummeted 20%. If anyone traded this, we can look at it. If not, we can look at the next. We have a lot of articles. Did anyone play this? I did. Anyone else? But yeah. Let's see. I think their guidance was a disaster too. Okay. But yeah, we'll skip this. Let's go to the next. We have a lot. There was Walmart and Home Depot. That was a fun and easy trade. Let's see. There also is a warning from consumer spending less. And then Mr. Fred Smith of FedEx came out this week as well, talking about the insurmountable US debt level, which is a bit of a concern. All right, let's look at WMT revenue. All right, total revenues for the year reached quarter. Year over year, yeah, $173 billion. And they benefited from currency fluctuations. Wow, stronger dollar indeed. $1.3 billion. E-commerce net sales globally up 23% and 18% of net sales. Strong growth in membership income. So I guess that's Sam's Clubs and whatnot. Does anyone have a Sam's Club membership? Just as a small poll from our tiny data set.
No.
I think
I used to.
used to. Okay.
Yes, I have.
You have one? Okay. Do you have Costco too?
I just I had Costco for 8 years. I just canceled and I switched to Sam's Club.
Oh, okay. Like, what's your experience? I've actually never been inside a Sam's Club.
I really liked it. It's I think a little bit cheaper than Costco, and they have really good products. I like it very much.
Okay, excellent.
Do they have the rotisserie chicken like
Yes.
Costco?
Yeah, they have the same. Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
That's good.
yeah, very good. The bread is better. I feel that they have all the same prices or $1 or $2 less than Costco for absolutely everything.
And what's the membership? Oh, $50 instead of 60.
Yeah.
Okay.
I switched
you don't-
because I was really a big fan of Costco, and then in December wanted to buy some cheese, and I felt that the cheese was so overpriced. They pushed my buttons, and I was okay. I'm switching. So, and I'm very happy with Sam's Club. The food
But there
court
aren't many.
is very good. The food is better.
The
Mhm.
food court is
Yeah,
better at Sam's Club?
Yeah, I like
But
it
there are
better.
not many Sam's Clubs around in
There's
the Bay
one
Yeah,
in
Area.
that's the
Concord.
problem.
That's where I go.
Yeah, that's the only thing. They're not as
I like the pizza better. I like the hot dogs better. They have salads. They don't have like I think everything is more quality, more value for your money.
Wow.
It's kind of interesting because it's like Sam's Club does bring up things like I was trying to look for Pataday, which is basically it's an eye drop for allergies and things like that. Sam's Club, you usually get like name brand products sooner than Costco. It's kind of interesting to see.
I decided to try them this year and see how it goes, but so far I'm very happy.
Yeah, I'm still debating about getting a Sam's Club because there's only so much I can buy.
Yeah.
They don't
Yeah.
sell gas though.
Yeah, they
They-
do. They do sell
they
gas
do.
too.
They do?
but-
Yep.
Yeah, but not in the Bay Area. Unfortunately, they sell gas at Sam's Club in Sacramento.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we do have a gas station out here in Pro City.
Nice.
Yeah, it's not too bad. And it's
And I
actually
love-
quite busy.
I love that I can scan everything myself, and I just don't have to go to the checkout or anything. I just leave and that's it. It's super cool.
Oh, nice. Yeah, they're adopting the self checkout here in Honolulu, like the Honolulu Costco's.
That's also where people steal the most.
Oh,
Yeah.
how
But
do they do
Costco,
that?
Yeah, Costco they check you on the way out, so they kind of run through the receives.
Yeah. Let's see. Here's Walmart. Really strong inflows, and they had a big candle or doji. Looks like recently or like a week ago.
It had earnings a few days ago, I think.
Yeah, and then oh yeah, I guess that was it. And then they have a 3-to-1 split coming up in 4 days.
Oh,
That's interesting. Okay, but yeah, strong inflows for the most part. Cool. And then is the cheese are the cheese prices okay at Sam's Club, Linda?
Yes, they are.
Okay. I would almost say like you strike me as a French person who would throw away their Costco membership over the cheese prices.
Yeah.
Like I think I do the same. And if olive oil spiked, I'd be like, oh no, we can't do this anymore.
No, they pissed me off. I was really a fan of Costco, and then they rose the price of pecorino, parmesan, the cheddar. I mean, all the cheese I like, and I was just, I'm done with you. It's
Yeah.
too much.
So just the basic stuff, the basic cheeses, not fancy.
I'm not sure about the fancy cheeses, but everything is like marinara sauce is cheaper, cereals are cheaper at Sam's Club.
Yeah, I was curious.
I mean,
I like
everything
fancy
I
cheese.
buy is
I'm not willing to pay $20 a pound for it.
and it's less crowded. I like it better.
Good stuff. Trader Joe's has really good selection of cheeses.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Trader
I
Joe's
like
is the
Trader Joe's.
best.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that. It has the best of everything.
Cool.
And cheap
Oh.
price too.
Yeah. And
And don't have to pay membership.
yeah. And if you guys traded Intel, that was fairly easy. And looks like there's a $10 billion chip incentives, thanks to the Oval Office here. So
Mm.
national security dollars. So good stuff there. Home Depot having some problems.
Mm.
This was I guess a safe haven during 2020, 2021. This was kicking ass since all the poor husbands and boyfriends got instant honey-do lists from lockdown and whatnot. But times have changed and the consumer is tapped out. And if you guys remember, we were talking lumber back then, and lumber, take me somewhere expensive. And there was memes about having dates at the lumber yard. If you guys remember this, you know.
It isn't back though.
Say what?
I was tracking it for a little while. I came back like in the last week because I was curious how much it fell. Lumber's still very expensive. It's like
Yeah.
twice what
Yeah.
it was 4 years ago, 5 years ago.
But yeah, looks like it's slowing down from Home Depot's reading of the market, and we should see that with its competitors like Lowe's and whatnot as well. Okay, so that's happening. And then I got some fun articles we'll talk about in just a bit. About, yeah, let's actually take a look at the article before we look at what the kids are trading. So teen stock traders is quite the phenomenon. I kind of wish I had, maybe it's better that I didn't have access to this when I was like 13 years old. But I bought my first stock at 18. I still remember that. It was Starbucks and Cheesecake Factory. So invest in your circle of competency, I guess. And in between reading Warren Buffett books then and like trying to figure out where to park my first $100, I was like, okay, I only know these two stocks. All right. But yeah, kids now have debit cards and more. And at least these are the positive activities that they're overall doing, let alone getting into illegal things and things they shouldn't see. But yes, there's a lot of gamification of trading apps. And if you notice anything from all of the Wall Street bets screenshots we looked at, that's not Thinkorswim. That's Robinhood. So that's why I still like to invest the time to look at what the kids are trading because we're selling to these guys for better or for worse. And here's a snapshot of Wall Street bets. So this is a sentiment analysis of all of the posts instead of reading them individually. So we can see them as an aggregate. So we can see NVIDIA, Supermicro, Tesla, lots of AI topics, Rivian, the Qs, Etsy, blah, blah, blah. And we can kind of see what they're trading. And as you see red increase, they're getting wiped out. And it's hard to write a bearish market for them because they're all they haven't really lived through a bearish market, let alone know how to trade one. But yeah, let's look at Trading Terminal and our other new platform, thanks to Flav's findings. But yeah, here's a nice kind of I guess not market cap, but I guess heat map relative to the number of posts here. This is kind of useful. And looks like, yeah, folks are a bit negative on Tesla and Etsy. And that makes sense. And then there's also other fun analytics here. So we don't have time for that, but let's look at Quiver Quant and see what fun data we can glean. If it will load. Okay, here we go. Most mentioned. Let's look at the longer duration. Let's see, 30 days, still NVIDIA. Okay, so not that much of a movement in the top players. So looks like the top four are held by the same folks. Okay, so we know where a lot of the money is. And here's the mention of calls versus puts. And when these red chunks get bigger and bigger, we should definitely go the other way. Okay, so that's cool. Awesome. And let's go to our actual news cycle. All right. So here's our again our Black Swan list from last week. I haven't updated this. If there's anything that I can add, let me know. I think we're still pretty good. We're seeing a lot more disease X articles, but still not sure on that as a serious threat. Yeah, these also look pretty static. Okay. Theaters of war, I didn't notice any new places, but we're still active Red Sea stuff. Yemen, Syria, Iraq, Iran, Somalia, Egypt, Ukraine versus Russia, Israel versus Gaza. There's a ceasefire. We're also moving weapons to Israel. I don't know what's going on. South China Sea, BS, Korean BS, and African BS, and farmers versus the unelected legislators. Did I miss anything else? Okay. If there's anything else I missed, we can always circle back. And let's take a glance at the economic calendar. Shout out to Dave for passing this awesome link to us again. Let's see. Let's go US-centric news. Fed Waller speech. Is this important? Which governor is he from? Oh, St. Louis? Okay. And what else do we got coming up? Fed monetary policy report, Baker Hughes U.S. oil rig count. Oh yeah, we haven't looked at this in a while. What's the number? 497? Interesting. Okay. And then looks like that's about it. And then commitment of traders report. Net positions. Okay, this is a reporting compliance item because the formal report comes out in the beginning of the month, I believe. Okay. All right.
Just as a level set, Baker Hughes isn't tradable.
Yeah, we were looking at that on and off in the past. So it's just kind of fun to see
It doesn't happen every single week anymore. It's kind of weird.
Huh. No doubt something happening there. Okay. And where are we on the emoji guide to investing? I guess it basically depends. Do you have exposure to the upside for Supermicro or NVIDIA? If you don't, then you're probably, a little bit of FOMO. Okay. There's some great charts here in our first econ article. Let's see. So here's the S&P. We're familiar with that. Not a big problem. Here is a little bit more fun. The real price index for the S&P. So we have these different phases. So we got, let's look at the legend here. Can't see. Okay. What are CAPE valuations again? CAPE. Oops. CAPE valuation. Cyclically adjusted price to earnings ratio. Okay, quite the mouthful. Okay. So gray is the cyclically corrected price to earnings, and then red is the S&P. Okay. So let's see. We had a big. So this is loss years of gain since it's been flat. So 14.5 here, and who knows how long this will be. Once it crashes and then gets back to parity. But yeah, interesting layout here. Let's go to the next chart. This is kind of cool. Forward 10-year returns. So y-axis here's the rate of return. And here is, again, cyclically adjusted price to earnings valuations. And we're right about here. And we are approaching, skewing to the right as this melt up continues. And peak was March 2000. Okay. Nice little plot chart here. Let's go to our next one. And we had, looks like nonstop net bullish sentiment in green versus the actual S&P. And how long can that go? Maybe a little bit longer. We'll see. Okay. And this is fun. Technically overbought versus sold composite from weekly technical measures. So red is overbought, blue is neutral, and green is oversold. Hopefully you're not colorblind, because this will not look pretty, but we're getting some upper bound movement on oversold, and yeah. Got it. Okay. And then what else is this? Annual versus intra-year returns with median gains and losses. Which asset class is this referring to? I would assume it's the S&P. Okay. So median fair value is in dotted green. Median average loss is in the black. So it's -10 and about 12%. Okay, I think that sounds like the S&P. Okay.
Yeah, that's a classic S&P chart from JP Morgan.
Yeah, the brochures look great, right? So yeah, it averages out to, 10%, 11% a year. So please give me your money. So yeah. We're at not quite the prior peaks actually at 24. Can go up more. Cool. And then we've seen a version of this already. Oh, this is cool. Years of, okay, real or length of zero returns. So from last crash, so peak, crash, next peak, you basically are waiting to break even, and then your carrying cost would be inflation, I guess. And yeah, we haven't even begun the next one, but wow, that's going to be biblical. And this might have been the worst era here, post reconstruction, Gilded Age. Yeah, market was very flat for a long time. Cool. So yeah, hopefully like those charts. We got many articles. We got to fly. I stole the title of this article as I put it in our title here on the working document. But yeah, a market only a mother or AI could love. So yeah, if you're not in the AI meme stocks, you're probably not thrilled with the market. But yeah, we've vacillated quite a lot with PPI data and figuring out if it's useful or not. And yeah, lots of verbiage here. We don't quite have time to go over everything, but yeah. This is fun. U.S. banks saw $65 billion deposit flight last week. Loan volume shrank, but the market continues to go up. So this is not quite discussed at all anywhere except among us. So looking closer, yeah. Rate of change. So that is a big bar graph change here. Okay, on this histogram here. Okay. Yes, business is contracting, or smart money is pulling out. Let's see, here's US commercial bank liability deposits. And that doesn't quite seem like a big delta, but it could be the beginning of ill tidings. We'll keep our eye on this. Okay. And then we haven't looked at KRE in a while. Let's take a look at our small regional banks. Let's start with New York Community Bancorp. I had a soft short on these guys, which closed, I think, the day before yesterday. Just milking the sideways action. So I think I was like selling from 6 or something. But yeah. Let's take a look at the betting public. Slightly bearish, not really. Pretty neutral. Okay. And what did Flav post? He sold a 5,000 put for 15 cents. Oh, excellent. That takes a lot of buying power. That's good stuff. Let's look at KRE. Here is oh wow, bearish action here. So this is the basket of regional banks. Let's look at its profile. Oh wait, where did that go? KRE is number 5. Number 5. Okay, so where's New York Community Bancorp? Okay, that's only on number 13. So these other guys have a lot trickier they're gonna have a lot more difficult time of dealing with bad books. Okay, but yeah, looks like this sector is in trouble. It's beginning to slip. And yeah, it might cross a zero threshold at some point soonish. Okay, we should maybe put this on our watch list. All right, let's go to our next article. Move these extra lines. Okay, let's get to currencies. Got a bunch of crypto news. We had a very boring and terrible 20-year auction this week. Not a lot of pickup. Let's see, Ethereum outperforms as Bitcoin soars. And let's take a look at this. Actually, let's go to Coinbase and look at all of the prices. Okay, let's zoom out a little bit. Okay, I don't want 1 day. Why is this not working? Okay, whatever. Let's see, Ethereum 51.5 compared to 29. How has this looked? Wow. Where is our top crypto correspondent? Lord Tedder's not here, but yes. Have you followed the Ethereum ETF news, Wani?
Yes, I have. I think was it Franklin Templeton? They're applying for the ETH.
Right. And
Yeah.
looks like the decision will be made in May, right?
I do not know when, but
Okay.
that's a good sign. And
Yeah.
I'm sure there will be more companies applying for the approval as well. I think BlackRock and all the big names. If they have BTC, most likely they will also have ETH.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. And we've like what Ed was talking about before, as more portfolios get geared for crypto, you'll see a lot more verbiage, like at least have 1% in crypto. So stuff like this will be more commonplace. And
Exactly.
yeah, 1% allocation. So I wish people included precious metals with that, but as we've seen in prior charts from last week, there's a lot of outflows out of the gold community into crypto, and I can't blame them. So crazy guys like me are stubborn. So other than that, there's more alpha in other places, so I understand. Cool. This was something interesting. This popped up in the I don't know what to make of it, but I do follow this guy, and he was posting on Hold and explaining how whales are manipulating this side of the market, and he provides a lot of screenshots and receipts on order flow, and pointing out that there's some weird back and forth between the whales to create some artificial demand. But I don't have time to get into this. But yeah, if you guys are interested, this might be worth taking a look at. But I just left it here. All right, cool. Let's just shift our gears to domestic news. Let's talk about Tesla's continued shit show. And we've been tracking their sale prices or car sales since they've decided to liquidate their 20,000 unit fleet due to high repair costs and just general operational insanity. And let's go to Hertz car sales and look at it directly. Let's make sure we're nationwide. Okay, we're nationwide. And yes, we are now week 2.5 of under the $20,000 mark. So now you can get, high mileage Model 3s that are barely 2 or 3 years old for $18,000. It is crazy. Yeah, insane. Okay, let's take a screenshot of the lowest priced one here. And let's save that to our list.
I think that's like $3,000 below the first time you did that.
Hey, Warren,
Yeah.
that subheadline, not the subheadline, the due to high repair costs. the COO clearly needs fired. Are you going to try to make the claim to me, Mr. COO? So I'm the CFO of Hertz right now, and I'm asking my underling, the COO, are you going to tell me you did not lock in repair contracts with Tesla prior to making this purchase? And if not, then and if they're not keeping up with the contract, we just sue for damages. This is easy work. What, they're surprised by how much it cost them? No, that due to high repair costs is we're hiding something behind the curtain. Either A, we're incompetent, or B, something else.
Board of directors is incompetent.
I'll give you that. There's incompetence somewhere because you cannot be surprised by something you know will occur. You know, Warren is my astronomy coach, and I'm paying him lots and lots of money. And he calls me every morning and says, Rob, you won't believe what happened. The sun came up today. That's what that is saying right there. They're surprised the sun came up.
Excellent points. There's no pushback here.
But they're also selling insurance. Maybe the price of the insurance was too high.
Could be.
And
At scale.
Then
you
go
think they
snipe
must
some
have decent
actuaries.
prices.
I mean, I know an actuary in Sunnyvale who posts pinball high scores all over the Bay Area. Just go snipe a few. Get your job right, guys. Come on.
Yeah. And I don't see.
The last phrase I'll put on that is I saw this at a a city council meeting where a person asked the people on the city council, "Have you considered being good at your jobs?"
I think that works for all government. I'd like to see the guys who are setting prices for Medicare.
What do they respond? We have to check with our union representative before we reply. Oh my God, that's great. At least they don't have hot mics on and they're talking, racist shit. Unlike LA. It looks like they are selling these off slowly. We have seen inventories decrease. So it looks like 215, 712, and we're down to 535. So someone's buying these. And it seems like the official cutoff is I haven't seen a single unit above 96,000 miles. So I think that's literally like if it hits 96,000, it's off to the wholesaler. So yeah. And with that,
what's the lowest mileage that they're unloading?
The lowest mileage, let's see. Can we sort for lowest mileage?
It's up at the top. Oh.
Okay,
yes.
let's sort for lowest mileage.
Really?
Low to high. Here we go. Low to high. Honolulu, 29.5, 5,000 miles. That's still relatively.
5,000 miles.
That's amazing.
Wow.
I mean, well, why would you buy something at 95,000 miles if you can buy that?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's $10,000 differential, but
and I mean, average use is what, 10,000 miles a year. So to have like a 2 or 3 year old car with 96,000 miles is just mind blowing. Like if it's not being charged, it's being driven. Like it's that bad. So yeah. So somewhere between 28,000 and 18,000, there's some fair value opportunities. So, yeah, could be a fun trade. Do they put a new battery before selling? No, KS, they don't. They're offloading that responsibility to the new buyer. Good times. We gotta look at Tesla stock, of course. Let's look at the betting public. Pretty middle of the road, neutral day. And let's see. Still on relatively sell-off territory. It's been a little bit underwater. Here's the zero line. And net momentum is definitely not great. And that's reflected in the price action. So yeah, cannot outfight gravity. And yeah, looks kind of depressed. And let's take a glance at fundamentals. Yeah. trading at 46 times earnings. Wow, 46 years to recover your purchase price. That's a little crazy. Okay. All right, cool. Well, that's Tesla for you. And we've been tracking these screenshots since they made the announcement. So yeah, we have seen the increase in mileage and the decrease in price. So clearly, the good stuff is being gobbled up quickly. All right, cool. Next thing here was a good demographic slice of, I think this is all ages. And no surprises here, but the younger kids are extremely socialist. And the older folks are more free market oriented. I mean, no surprises, but yeah. And ironically, this is kind of mind-blowing. Even if you're rich, people are still consistent are still socialist to, like, it doesn't change between middle income and upper income. Kind of interesting. Okay. What else? Oh, there is a Hong Kong refugee that got appointed to San Francisco's election commission, and this person is officially not a US citizen. I don't know what to say. Like, I'm pro Hong Kong, but this is not how you're supposed to use that attribute. Yeah. SF is modern day Gotham City, so I'm not surprised. But yeah, that happened in San Francisco. And there was the New York City boycott by the truckers, and
Mhm.
they intimidated the supposed ringleader, and he says, "No one's got to me. I ain't scared of shit," but he is stepping down. Like, I understand you don't have to say it like that, but death threats are pretty serious. And yeah.
Warren, isn't it true in San Francisco, if you're not a citizen, you can vote on the school board elections?
I mean, they don't even ask for ID. So if you go into the line and say, I'm Jose Jimenez, they're not going to say no. So, and then, I don't know if, and if you're dead, how many times do you vote in California? Like, who knows? Yeah, one of our friends, Alan knows this guy. He wore a shirt to the Turlock swap meet. It says, don't let me vote Democrat when I'm dead. Yeah.
This isn't a completely crazy idea. Allowing the governed to have some say on who is governing them. I think the crazy part is having non-citizens in the area at all. But and it's not just San Francisco. There's been other localities that have said, we want the people who live here to have a say in their government. We believe it will make them more citizen-y acting citizens. Kind of in the same way we talk about people who own houses are better than people who rent houses. When you go around to buy a house, you look for places with low rentals and high owners. And I think that's what they're trying to do. As opposed to say, maybe, how about you become a citizen? How about you make this the place you stay? As we all know, I've done my entire career in the Bay Area in Silicon Valley, and I've had discussions with my friends about our different options available to us when everything goes crazy. And a lot of them are like, I got a plane ticket back to India. I don't need to stay here and deal with it. I'm like, that's a very interesting point.
There's years that you're not allowed to leave the country. If you want to get on the citizen path, you're not allowed to leave the country for
That's fine.
Over a certain number of weeks or at all. But
I have no problem with that. I know people who haven't left the country for 100% of their lives, and they seem to survive just fine.
But I'm not disagreeing. I'm disagreeing with non-citizens voting.
Yeah.
Like,
Not
if they own a house and they've been here for 5 years, then you start to say, oh yeah, they're real. But
yeah, but not even for local
across
elections.
The border is still illegal. I don't want them to vote any day soon.
But not even for local elections, you wouldn't want them to have any say?
No.
Not and not over any period of time?
Nope.
Well, that's where I'm saying that you could have sort of a cutoff rule. I mean, they'll never own houses at this point, but if they've been here for years, or if, if they've lived in the district for years.
I think it's an interesting thought experiment for sure. But I think blowback would be extreme. And I think it's not even the appropriate blowback. Just we haven't had a safety valve for any of this, and we're just getting, run over. Like New York City is giving, 5-figure debit cards to fresh illegals, and that includes people that look like me, Venezuelans, Colombians, Guatemalans, and it's not just Mexico anymore. It's everyone, and the North Africans are coming in, and it's a serious problem. And then, so I looked at the article. So illegals now are being housed at the Roosevelt Hotel, and the hotel's actually closed for business. They only exclusively deal with refugee and NGO contracts now. And I have stayed here once when I was in Midtown for work, and it is a really nice hotel. I can't believe that like fresh worlders are just everywhere, and they're getting 3 hots and a cot for free.
Well, hang on. From what I heard, they're getting 2 hots, not 3. That's a 50% increase you've given them. Also, the NGOs, I blame the Christians. I blame, anyone who's not interfacing with their own NGO. Franklin Graham said, no, we're not helping people cross the border illegally. We're only feeding people in Venezuela. And then as you start to ask the people where they get their money and how it all works out, it's like, Mr. Graham, your money is assisting in this problem. And so yeah.
Go ahead. The Brits have run through this problem. There's 10 years of history of how screwed up you can be.
Yeah. And back to the local voting thing. I've spoken with a number of my co-workers over the years, and I've said, look, I get you can't vote, so there's a certain feeling of disenfranchisement. But if you go with me to the city council meeting, you will have your say. If you go with me to the school board meeting, you will have your say. And I want you to have a say in the community, because I don't want to only say Mike and Larry and Wani have to carry all of the load for all of the guests, the non-citizens. Those non-citizens need governing also. They need to be expected to carry that load. So I'm not certain disenfranchising them at every level makes sense. Federally, yeah, sure, you're not a citizen, hit the road. But keep paying your federal taxes, please. Oh, that's kind of interesting.
No, I think that's a fair point. And looking at welfare recipients, let's see, here's the breakdown. California, 61% of households, 40 versus 41% in immigrant households. In Texas, it's 66 and 44. So Texans versus illegals, and similar proportions were found in Florida and New York. Like, surprise. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff here. I don't have to get into quite those weeds. But yeah, it's a problem. And the count, I don't really believe, but under Biden's administration, supposedly it's 10 million. And then for the Chinese component, it's what, 30 or 40,000 nationals, Chinese nationals from last year. And then the year before that was like 0, basically like 1,000. And then today, year to date, 2024, it's 20,000 for Chinese nationals, which is insane to me. So the real count's probably 3 to 10x that. And like for the ones that would be, the ones that actually snuck across. So it's I mean, at some point you could say it's migration, and then the other point is you can say it's an actual invasion. So it can get complicated. Let's see what the KS say. Legal immigrants from some countries wait 20 plus years to get a green card and 5 more years for citizenship, and they have been contributing taxes all this time and deserve to be included. Yeah, absolutely. I think most of us got in here through extensive paperwork and waiting. but we're being replaced fundamentally. And as we mentioned before, New York PD, their largest demographic now are Dominicans. And at least in the eastern coastal states, if you're willing to put on a badge or a military uniform, you are getting citizenship eventually. And that comes with voting privileges and everything else. So it's not that it's happening or can we slow it down. It's already in effect. And this is a little bit complicated to fight, even at the local level, because the prong comes down from the Oval Office to Soros-funded DAs and downstream from there. So it's quite the conundrum of how to really untangle this. And if we look at what was it? Pakistan, they did a massive deportation 2 weeks ago of illegal Afghanis. It was like 500,000 heads got not heads, but 500,000 folks got deported. Let me pull that up. Yeah, Afghan refugees. Yeah. Yeah, 250,000 folks were bussed out of Pakistan. So yeah, so it can be done, but I don't know if we have the political spirit to do what's necessary to protect Americans. Yeah, hard to say. So it is a problem, and I don't know what else to say than, train your grappling, striking, and get some pistols. Like, yeah. All right, cool. I thought this was a cool chart. This is how the left and right feel about certain US industries. And some of it's pretty obvious, but there are some nuances to this. And maybe we should rotate this image. I don't want you guys breaking your necks. Yeah, let me save this image and we'll rotate it so we can see the other heading. Okay. Oops. Rotate. There we go. Okay. All right, here we go. Tobacco. So favorability is to the net favorability is to the right. Low favorability is to the high favorability is to the left. Low favorability is to the right. So if you're positive, you're this side. Okay. So tobacco. I guess conservatives hate it more. Okay. Pharmaceuticals, red's more favorable. Insurance, blue's more favorable. Professional sports, more blue. Finance, more blue. Cable, more blue. Fashion, more blue. Healthcare, everyone likes to not die. Let's see. Utilities, pretty even. Real estate, more favorable blue. And then oil and gas, pretty extreme divergence here. We'll talk about this in our oil gas news a little bit later. Airlines, a little bit blues and a little bit more travel heavy. News media, extreme gap here. Broadcasting, extreme gap. Cell phones, everyone's indifferent. Education services, pretty wide gap. Waste management. Red team is more pro waste management. That's interesting. Let's see. Television, there's a slight gap. That makes sense. Looks like Team Red is a little bit less alcoholic inclined. Maybe not opiates, but yeah. Everything else is about even. Let's see. Retail shopping. Shipping is more red friendly. That makes sense. Entertainment, a big gap here. Mining, big gap. Automotive, decent gap. Grocery stores or grocery is a slight gap. Food manufacturing, big gap. Higher education, huge gap here. Manufacturing, big gap. Construction, big gap. And trucking and agriculture. Okay. Yeah, I think a lot of that makes sense if you think about it. But yeah, kind of interesting. Cool. And here's the table view. So if you guys want to check that out, but yeah. Okay. But yeah, we talked about the count. 10 million folks have entered the US under Biden. The real number's got to be significantly higher than 10 million. That's the ones that you can count. Holy cow. Okay. We got to speed up a little bit. No surprises, but food inflation is more than real, and it's the highest in 3 decades. We'll skip the charts here. Boeing's had some problems. There was a recent diversion for some wing damage. That looks like a bird strike or something. I'm not sure, but let's pull up Boeing really quick and see how they're trading lately. Today, at a glance, a little bit bearish. And let's check out. Okay, so from a momentum standpoint, we're definitely at the zero line. So lots of folks have sold out, and yeah, pretty dead even. And we had this beautiful ramp up, and then lots of Boeing Max problems, and then massive gap downs. And we've kind of had some equilibrium, at least, found at the moment. But yeah, if there's more problems in the future, then we should expect more craziness. So yeah. I saw this come up. I'm not familiar with this brand, but has anyone seen this convenience store chain in the South before, or in the East Coast? Wawa? Or is it Wawa? But yeah, they're doing massive expansion there. So thought that was interesting. What else? Oh, here's create the problem and sell the solution. So there's Ozempic is now being marketed towards kids and teenagers. And that $1,000 shot is an appetite suppressant fundamentally. So that's kind of
It's
diabolical.
disgusting.
Yeah.
Eli Lilly like dropped down quite a bit this week. Anybody knows why?
Yeah, let's check them out. They're the main US supplier. Yeah, let's check that out. Yeah, I see what you mean here, but let's see. Net momentum is still really strong, so it's still a lot of net buying. But yeah, there has been just a brief drawdown. I don't think that's out of the ordinary. But if this breaks down some more, it could be like a dead cat bounce. So you have to watch this. Okay. But yeah, I was looking at yeah, so fundamentally it's Denmark based, and then yeah, in their first full year of being on the market in 2018, they sold $17 billion worth of doses of Ozempic. That's insane. So yeah, crazy.
It's just flushing money down the toilet. I mean, all you have to do is diet.
But these are kids, like they're
Well,
idiots.
no, that's the thing. If you set a policy that you say, oh, well, stop eating freaking high fructose corn syrup, and then you would solve some of this.
Yeah.
But don't you guys find this really funny? Because remember back in the 70s, we had this whole thing about fasting, and then it's like all the girls are starving themselves to death.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we went through that. So it's like it's just another version of this. Do we want a bunch of kids to basically go through the same craze?
Yeah, and Instagram pushes that.
Heroin chic, right? 1990s. The grunge look.
There you go. There you go.
I mean, the thing is, $1,000 a month is huge compared to what people are paying for insurance.
Yeah,
It's just,
and all the other side effects that are coming. So we might see Oprah, have other problems fairly soon. So yeah.
And they
Yeah.
said Martin Shkreli was a bad guy.
Yeah. In
Wait, the
related news,
oats?
yeah, there's pesticide problems in the breakfast cereals, especially for the heart healthy ones, and people are having problems due to that, among other things. And if you didn't know about cornflakes and General Mills, the original intent was to create a very bland food to decrease masturbation.
yeah, I remember.
Yeah, this is the original purpose of Kellogg's cornflakes from back in the day, in the Gilded Age. Holy cow. So yeah.
So there's
Or are
studies
you
that
just
show
supposed to
that
take
oatmeal
a
is
handful
actually
of
bad
these
for you.
flakes and use them when you're masturbating?
No. You eat the food. No, don't do that. You extra lotion.
I think that would discourage it.
There's a lot of friction, Mom. Oh, my God.
Sorry, guys. I just God.
Uh, that's when the instructions are not clear, and but yeah, hopefully you eat the bland food and it decreases your testosterone, so you're not a horn dog, supposedly. Yeah, leave it to Vlad the Impaler to come up with alternative solutions. What else is happening? Charge-offs are soaring. I had to look this up. I wasn't quite sure what this meant. So that's when the creditor closes your account. So yeah, Capital One to buy Discover. So we're gonna see a conglomerate on this side. So this is right on schedule with the general business cycles in terms of a lot of M&A activity. So if you thought Capital One ads were bad before, it's gonna amp up another level after they buy Discover. All right, cool. Let's talk about real estate. All kinds of insanity here. So there's too much. So let's fast forward to the good stuff. Let's see. This was a tower build in Manhattan that got shut down. They're just going to build tennis courts now. So kind of hilarious. And I'll call this guy back. Okay. U.S. farmland hits value record amid tighter credit conditions. So even though the farmland is more valuable, if you want to get a loan, it is significantly more difficult. But yeah, they've seen an increase in 6% in, let's see, at least in the 7th Federal Reserve District. And let's see. Let's expand this chart. This is a little bit more Midwest centric, but I think it's a good snapshot. So let's see. Percentage change in dollar value of good farmland. So quality arable farmland with good topsoil. Illinois, Indiana, Iowa is not great, but Wisconsin is plus 14. All right, cool. So good for that. Hopefully the farmers are doing well. But yeah.
But that's only for soil. It doesn't include how good it is for things like wind power.
Wind power. Can you expand on that?
Well, there are areas that have a lot of wind and where you can put up wind turbines, and some, farm areas do that.
Oh, okay. Like Central Valley does a lot of that. But wind turbines are like net carbon disasters from that standpoint, and they also murder all of the avian wildlife. Like if you ever walked underneath a windmill, it's just dead eagles and hawks and birds of all kinds.
They're also really noisy.
Yeah, and they're
Noise
dangerous.
pollution too. There's farmers, a mile away who are saying that noise pollution is unbearable.
Oh, okay, I didn't think about that. But they're also insanely expensive. Like the return on investment is measured in several decades, and they're not even built to last that long. So, like wind has never been quite the solution that it was made out to be. And if you ever played SimCity 2000, I forgot what the price was, but the windmills were like 4 megawatts and just garbage output. But yeah.
Have you taken a look at the windmill blades, and when they wear out, what do they do with them?
No.
Yes,
They just
I've got
bury them.
pictures and stuff.
It's really, really horrible.
Yeah, the British ones, they're tearing them up in a lot less than 10 years, and they're rated for 25.
Make the blades out of carbon fiber, then you have carbon sequestration.
Right there.
I have a whole bunch of pictures like that,
That's horrible.
Send
and they
drawings for
don't degrade
inspection.
at all.
That's horrible. Okay. Wow. That's insane. Okay.
So
Did not-
you grow mosquitoes in them. I mean, there's all kinds of little side effects nobody really pays attention to.
Oh, mosquitoes in them. Holy cow. Okay. That is frightening. Okay, we gotta speed up. It's almost 12. Oh my God, we haven't got to the China news section. We gotta fly. All right. 30% of renters who moved in the last 2 years became only 30% of renters who moved in the last 2 years became homeowners. So high housing costs and high capital rates will only further exacerbate this problem. Okay. we talked a lot about buildings and strip malls and towers, but we haven't talked about warehouses in a while. So this is like a cool article to look at the warehouse side of the commercial real estate debacle. So here's average space available. So vacancy is spiking pretty quickly, and warehouses is a proxy for overall, business and industrial stuff, especially physical distribution, and that's probably a significant problem. So we have to watch out for this. Okay, and then this is the latest from Philly. This is a monster collapse of a building financially. So there's almost $60 million left on a mortgage, and let's see, this was acquired for $85 million in 2014, but its net yield per month is only 6.6 million in net operating income, and now it's 4.4. So it's financially not sustainable, and this will be like one of many buildings. It's crazy. This is just not too far from downtown in Philadelphia, and yeah, bye building, and all the jobs and related stuff downstream from that. That's pretty bad. Okay, let's get to tech news. I left this up from last week. I still like this image. I want just folks to remember there's a world without Supermicro and NVIDIA. And if you pull out tech stocks, the S&P is not doing very well. And shout out to Ross. I'm not sure if he's here today, but we probably have to fix this chart because this is a lot higher. But yeah, there might be some bubble-like effects happening. And yeah, Supermicro had a meltdown. This article is a little stale from Friday, but obviously this is rebounding quite nicely, but we're still below the prior highs of that recent item. And this is kind of cool. This is referencing the Magnificent Seven against the former Nifty 50 at its peak. And this is a older list, predates me quite a bit, but from the 60s and 70s of the top 50 industrials. And so this is from 72 to 98, and kind of a interesting collection of folks, all brands that you recognize, but a lot of these folks, I mean, a good chunk of them are still here, but definitely a bunch of them are not, like Xerox, Sears and Roebuck, International Flavors, I don't know what that is, freaking Halliburton, Polaroid, gosh, but yeah, a lot of folks here. And is the current Magnificent Seven, is this sustainable? Are these reasonable reasonable values, and can their market cap be sustained? That's the multi-billion-dollar question. So yeah, we'll have to keep our eye on that. But yeah, that was a good comparison. Cybertrucks are rusting, and people forget like stainless steel is not exactly maintenance free, and folks are learning that quickly. So all kinds of fun there for Elon. Elon also has the first Neuralink, and you can move a mouse with your mind. Yeah, this transhumanism is going to be fairly divisive in the future. So yeah, we'll watch how that goes. And then meanwhile, no surprises here, as we've seen money rotate out of ESG and EV sectors. Ford is slashing prices and increasing incentives on the electric Mach-E and the F-150 Lightning. So not having a good time there, obviously. And I got more Tesla news in another section. But yeah, I thought this was kind of cool. I found this on Reddit. This is how Microsoft makes its dollars. So let's see. We got Microsoft Azure dollars here, over a third. Microsoft Office, holy cow. And there's free alternatives, from OpenOffice, LibreOffice, I guess to a certain extent, Google and Zoho even. But yeah, this is crazy. Windows licensing, Xbox, freaking LinkedIn, and Bing. Yeah, Bing SEO is increasing in market share because folks are fed up with Google, ironically. But yeah, Microsoft notoriously sucks on devices. Just think of the Microsoft Zune from back in the day and the Microsoft phone. Total flops. But yeah, interesting there. And I don't really have a lot of labor news this week, so we'll skip that. Lots of international stuff. And as we mentioned earlier, this is a flashback to 2020. So CDC confirms spread of unknown outbreak aboard cruise ship. And yeah, this makes cruise ships a little bit disturbing, from was it norovirus issues to other things. So this affected 154 people. And yeah, if you guys know anything about maritime law, when you're in international waters, it is kind of like the wild, wild west in terms of how things are handled and what is disclosed and what isn't. It is insanely different on the high seas, in international waters, and just a lot of folks do not know that. But yeah, it's
Well, there's also issues with how Medicare coverage works in situations like that.
Oh, I never thought about that, but yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So yeah, like I hope no one. I mean, I hope you stay healthy and sane on a cruise ship. But if things go wrong, liability gets really convoluted, and rule of law is not a thing, and due process is not a thing. Yeah, so just be careful. But yes, if this is real, then casinos are next. So let's take a look at the casino stocks really quick. We haven't looked at them in a while. Here's Royal Caribbean, right? Still alive. What's the other one? Norwegian. What's the ticker? I even forgot. NC. Yeah, there we go. NCLH. Oh wow, still alive. Okay. But we just had Caesars earnings recently not doing well in sell-off territory in the last 90 days. MGM also not doing great, but better than Caesars. And let's look at the Adelson Empire of Sands doing okay or better than its competitors. And let's pivot to Macau with the Stanley Ho Empire. And this is treading water and going very sideways. Okay, so that's the casino stocks for you. All right, and did the India bubble burst? So saw stuff on this. I thought this was interesting. Do we have our Indian correspondents here today? Looks like we got KS. KS, do you have any exposure to the Indian markets? I'm just curious. Let's see. India stocks premium to China nearing a record. So we got India's forward P divided by China's forward P. Okay. So we're seeing a spike match. What is that? 2022? No. Okay. KS does not. Okay. No worries. But yeah, we don't have to spend too much time if none of us are in the Indian market. But yeah, we'll have to keep our eye on this. Okay. And I thought this is kind of cool. Where are people living longer? So we're looking at net gains. So this is the delta. This is not longest living. This is just who's had the most change since in the last, I guess, 2 or 3 generations. So let me make this a little bit bigger for you guys. All right. So, oops. So Guatemala, El Salvador, Bolivia, 26. That's the entire generation that people are living longer. Holy cow. Look at West Africa and Central Africa. That's like 2 generations worth of increases from not dying. And in Western Europe, I'm surprised at these numbers since Luxembourg and Malta is extremely well off that they're still having such big gains, and Portugal. And in Asia, Bhutan makes a lot of sense, but Timor, I don't even know how to pronounce this, Bangladesh, that's incredible. That's like 3 generations gain of not dying. And in Australia, in the old Polynesian chains, New Caledonia, wow. So big gains here as well. But there's probably spiking obesity as well. So that's interesting. Okay.
So what would be interesting is see those numbers versus childhood deaths and baby count.
Mortality, yeah, infant mortality especially. Yeah. And I'm always trying to encourage you guys to think more internationally. And we've looked at the expat world rankings before. And this is kind of a fun article. Let's talk about the least powerful passports. And these are passports not to invest in. So let's see who they are. So definitely don't get a Syrian passport, a Libyan passport, an Afghani passport, or a North Korean passport. Okay. It must be a slow news day. Like these are all obvious things to know, but in case you are looking for second passports and international residencies, don't do these ones. If anything, you want the French one. Wow, France is ahead of US. That's cool. Israeli, Mexico. Who's this? Is this Ukraine? This is Russia. Don't do China. Yeah. But yeah. Okay.
Where is Canada on that?
Yeah, where's Taiwan?
We data not found, but oh, here we go. Let's
Oh, there
find
we go. Okay.
table view. Okay. Canada. The Great White North, where are they? I don't see it. And where's Taiwan?
Yeah, it's not even in there.
Okay, well, this list came from somewhere, but biggest declines. Oh, okay. Also, don't get these. I mean, the only one that would be remotely possible for us would be maybe a Russian or South African, but none of us are worried about that. Okay. So yeah, don't be expats of those countries. All right. Next. Largest consumer markets. Where are we headed? Cool. So China is a paper tiger that's literally on fire, and we won't have to worry about them. They're just going to disappear off the face of the map, unfortunately. India will be the next billion population with some serious buying power. Indonesians and the nicest Muslims you can ever meet are still pacing behind them. Not sure about Japan. There's Pakistan, Bangladesh, Vietnam, Philippines, Thailand, Iran, Russia, Germany, and then US. This will probably stagnate. And then Brazil is also up and coming, another billion population coming up. But massive and rampant corruption and low IQ is a problem. So lots of issues there. Okay. But yeah, these are probably doctor numbers for sure. So that's nothing to worry about. And we got great Chinese news too coming up. This is hilarious, but if like I did not have Yakuza nuclear smuggling on my 2024, bingo card. But yes, business must be really bad if the Japanese mafia is trying to smuggle weapons-grade plutonium, uranium, and other related analogs of radioactive fuels. So this is
But
real.
where are they getting it from, and where are they trying to send it to?
Excellent question. So they're getting it from Burma and other countries, and they're moving it to attempting it to sell, I guess, any willing buyer. It's an open market, I guess. Yeah, I haven't read too deeply into all of this, but yes, I do feel I suddenly need a Geiger counter. So yeah. So yes, do not underestimate the Yakuza gangs of Japan. Okay. Shifting to oil and commodity news, we're gonna fly through this since we're a little bit over time. We're finally seeing some movement with Wall Street embracing and investing in shale deals. So that's quite a departure from the typical ESG stance they have. And what else? Natural gas is spiking due to Chesapeake cuts in production. And yeah, there was another Zero Hedge comment that pointed out that when natural gas drops below $2, plants start blowing up. And we're still under $2. So yeah. There's a hydrogen gold rush coming up with natural production, so that could be fun. And I think lots of hydrogen-based fuel cells will definitely become more mainstream beyond just like Toyota's Mirai and whatnot. And this is going to be a disaster for tuners and mechanics all across the US. But yes, Biden wants to run sales of higher ethanol and gasoline. So about 15% ethanol content. So E15, as it were. And 10% is already the default. And that's creating all kinds of havoc in engines. And he wants to further attack ICE engines. So yeah. Big FU from all of the tuners, but yeah. We'll have to talk more about uranium in the coming days, but there is some spiking among there, and the world reserve amount for that, the supply is not as high as people think. And what's our play for uranium? Looks like CCJ is not having a good time at the moment, but yeah, we'll have to revisit this at some point. And as we talked about before, there's a chocolate crisis in the cocoa markets for multiple reasons, climate change and general instability in the production regions. We don't have time to get into this, but fossil fuels are important. And this might be a fun like book of the month we can talk about later. But this is a local author from San Francisco. He wrote an amazing book, and I got this in 2016. It's basically the moral case for fossil fuels, and it's quite interesting and fascinating. And as a long time like ecology minded person, I found this book very interesting, and it makes a great case. So,
An excellent book.
oh, you
It's
read it?
available
Okay.
on audiobook at your library, probably.
Okay, yeah, excellent. And he's a young guy too, about my age. Also a black belt in jitsu as well. So I haven't found him in a dojo yet in San Francisco, but some of my friends have grappled with him, which is cool. But yeah, amazing book. Highly recommend it. We should put it on our list. Shifting to the gold and silver market, premiums are still about 16% for silver, despite the low price. Let's see, it's 22.77 for silver, 2022 for gold, and the gold silver ratio is still about 89, which is still means silver is relatively cheap. And then gold premiums are still holding at about 4%. But silver premiums for a long time, like 2-3 months ago, was about 8 or 9%, if you guys remember. And it spiked up in the last quarter. And here's the gold silver ratio as well, historically. And I saved this from the other week. And now Costco is selling silver eagles. Like, does Sam's Club sell precious metals? I don't believe so. But I've never bought a Costco membership, but I think if they keep selling metal, I'm gonna be really intrigued. And they sell nice gun safes too, which is good for holding everything. All right, now the fun stuff, China news. All right, we gotta fly. We're going so slowly. All right. So again, we've always talked about the 3,000 level and for the Shanghai Exchange as the main watermark. And amazingly, with a lot of shenanigans, Xi Jinping has pushed it almost to the 3,000 level. And if you guys noticed, the China market was frozen for 10 days, which is a lot longer than prior exchange holidays. So that's another way that they're kind of like manipulating the market by just keeping it frozen for extra long. So typically it's a 5-day shutdown. They made it 10. So that's why a lot of things were frozen there. But yeah, I need to start compositing or compiling a long list of China issues. I had it in the previous list, but I have so many notes of every week that I couldn't find it. But I'm going to start building this again. So, there's a lot of civil unrest and real estate insanity with their ghost cities and whatnot. And we'll get this all listed properly over time. And this still blows my mind. I just keep leaving this here. But yes, when the oldest profession in the world is, expanding market share in the very high youth unemployment sector of 40 to 70%, we have some serious problems at the Main Street level. And proof in the pudding, North Korean workers in China riot over unpaid wages. They occupied a factory and killed the plant manager. Like it's that serious. And you probably haven't heard about this anywhere, but yeah, this is from a Japanese news site. And but anyway, it was a clothing factory and seafood processing. And if you've ever spent any time in the gray markets or the black markets, shipping and logistics is code name for smuggling, and that's how you move a lot of contraband. It's planes is just too expensive, but ships relatively cheap, and you can't search every square inch of every container, and every ton of cargo. Like you can't just check everything. But yeah. So when you see like North Korean stuff, there's always something with ships nearby as well. So yeah. But yes, lots of shenanigans on the China side to buoy up the markets. Shorting is extremely limited, and they've been Beijing's been punishing a lot of folks that have been unloading. So yeah, Beijing is not afraid to use the ban hammer and smack people upside the head. And we're running out of time, but yeah, we'll fast forward to some of this. And nothing says strength and prosperity like tightening capital controls and limiting folks to expatriate out of the country. So if you're trying to leave China now, it's too late. And everyone that's coming across the border, that is with the state's blessing and funding for sure, 100%. And more stimulus attempts and throwing debt at a massive paper fire. And let's see. China plunge production team emerged in last hour trading to push stocks to session highs after 10-day holiday. And I put this in red because it's never been a 10-day holiday for the exchanges before. And nothing says strength again, like playing with the holiday calendar. And I even though I'm a well-researched bear on China tech news, I do like to convey other alternative points, going back to the high rates of openness and my personality, right? So here's a nice article from whoever the pseudonym is for, but they're making a case that UBS thinks that the market will go up and the year of the dragon will improve things, yada yada. This is a lot of fluff if you have time to get into this, but yeah. So yes. And then this happened as well. There was a fake AI generated paper about rats with a giant penis that the Chinese released, and it got published. And it's just pure insanity. And if you've ever worked with PhDs or if you know anybody in academics, like publishing is your lifeblood. It is do or die basically. And these folks, as a joke, just slapped together a bunch of AI images and pulled like dumb text. And yeah, this got published. It is just insane. So this is a huge disservice to true scientists trying to do their work, and the shenanigans of how this got pushed forward and past the editing boards and whatnot is just insane. So
I
yeah.
assume
So
the
there's
rats were
studies
not
on
being
how
fed.
many of these things are fake that have come out recently.
Yes.
I'm assuming these rats were not being fed cornflakes.
Yes.
Well, don't forget the first major takedown of this publishing industrial complex by Lindsay and Pluckrose and all those guys. You read their book article, right?
No. How do we look that up?
Let's just bring up a search and I'll think of something by the time you get there. Lindsay, James Lindsay, Linds. Yeah, let's go with AY. And then let's go with Helen, Helen. There you go. That second one down. The one with Peter Boghossian in it. Yeah, grievance studies. They started coming up with a joke. What if we just like threw something at the wall and saw what it stuck? And so they did these. They wrote papers, they submitted them, they were sent back for review, for edits. They got better, they went in. Yeah.
That was a great story. I enjoyed that.
And the CRT folks and the modern Frankfurt school sons of bitches just ate it up. Yeah.
It was pretty bad. There was a dog one about how there was something about dogs. Look at the accepted list there.
Human reactions to rape culture and queer performativity at urban dog parks in Portland.
Yeah, so they claimed they went to dog parks and could figure things out.
Fat bodybuilding. What the hell? Straight male homo hysteria and transphobia through receptive penetrative sex toy use? What?
Yeah. I mean, it takes one step after the next and simply makes it think you're like, I can make one crazier than that. I can make one crazier than that.
Elephant test for feminist porn. Like, I get it. It's just shock value. And it's incredible that even past the editing board the first
So
time.
the argument was that the crazier they were, the more woke,
Yeah.
the faster they got adopted.
Grappling with hegemonic masculinity, the roles of masculinity and heteronormativity in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. What? Oh my God. Okay, this is just hilarious.
But then, of course, they're saying we did this with a straight face, but then do a search for the Journal of Irreproducible Studies.
It's actually irreproducible results, I believe.
Oh, you're right, I'm wrong. JIR.
Journal of Irreproducible.
And this is definitively tongue-in-cheek, and it's been around for a long time. However, can you tell the difference between this and the real stuff, right? And then you have some people that are saying, but wait a minute, the real truth is, let's try to reproduce some studies. And they're having a real hard time at it.
I mean, cold fusion is one, right? For sure.
Well, that's even a hard science, but there's a lot of stuff that just is not reproducible.
Yeah. Okay. Great stuff. Let me speed through the last couple things and we can circle back with any specifics. This movie came out and my friend sent it to me to check out, and I realized you guys would really like this. So this is a movie called No More Bets, and it's a true story. It's about how Chinese programmers get shanghaied and conscripted to work in a click farm. And the click farm is actually a slave camp, and they do all kinds of cyber fraud and everything from online gambling to webcam girls to crypto mining. And you probably heard a lot about the, what do they call it? Pig Scam Philippines. This is a dating app scam that's become pretty common. Pig butchering, I'm sorry. Pig butchering scam. So you get love bombed on a dating app, you connect with someone, and then increasingly this other attractive person on the other end needs money, and people get suckered out of life savings and whatnot, and it's insane. So this place does it, and I just want to show you guys the scene where the boss walks through a new recruit, and it's just like a minute or two, but it's insane. So I'll show you guys this. And the full movie is on YouTube.
各位，我们的业务范围啊，其实很广的，炒股、挖币、网游、电商、博彩。公司里分了8个组，正题反托，烽火出窑，听过没有？祖师爷分的千门八将嘛。来，今天好。好，这些啊都是提将，也叫骨推，他们负责聊天进货。底薪8000块，业绩超过3万，前5提成，多老多。正将组，他们负责写程序、增开网页。这排全是脱将组，负责网络安全，底薪就有3万块钱，业绩好还有提成。这里不能用手机，不能跟外面联系，这些电脑啊全都不能上网的。 能上网那些我都会监控的。那是啥时候？一统江山了，上了。谁啊？有人跑了，被抓回来的。他敢不敢跑啊？啊？说话啊！啊？精彩的来了，美女荷官在线发牌。轮盘骰盅21点，斗牛、炸金花、红土豆摆下来。只有你们想不到的，连我们都在。跟我聊啊。
So yeah, and then everyone goes to the company cantina, and you eat your lunch next to, like, everyone, the slaves, the models, everything in between. And it's a fascinating movie. And my friend couldn't finish it because it's too gory at the end when it gets to the violent parts. But it's on YouTube. The link's here. So that's real. And I've heard a lot about this. I've only seen gambling click farms in Macau. I haven't seen these other aspects. I've heard tons of field reports, and I'm surprised that they even allowed this movie to get published. But these are real things. Questions, comments? Okay.
Is there a dubbed version?
It has subtitles.
I don't want to read.
Dubbed. I mean, I guess Warren could dub it for you. It'd be hilarious.
No, it's good. I'm searching online right now. I mean, I normally read books while I'm watching movies anyway, so now I got to read the movie and the book.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like a Warren G dub would be hilarious. We'll do that. Okay. I jotted down a bunch of like just news article subject lines for you guys. There's like 2 pages. We'll just look at the highlighted ones that I thought were important. Another EV company has suspended production. Everyone's playing games with wage payments. Study abroad trends are cooling down, and Chinese students aren't going overseas anymore. One, because they're broke. It requires substantial amounts of money. And I was part of one of my friends, here, can't, he had a small operation to, oh wait, Camp Gem. Did he change the name? Oh, yeah, he changed the name. Anyway, one of my friends developed this website, and the idea was to provide a concierge service to Chinese students who are coming to America to study. And they take care of housing, everything from car rentals to a bunch of different things. So it's really turnkey for someone who's never been to California or Boston, and they just need help and guidance to get plugged into, housing and whatnot. And I asked them, like, I helped them build this up in the beginning, but I asked them, like, how was pickup and traction? He's like, it's a disaster, and he's like put his interest into other projects. So, but previously the big markets was San Francisco here, and then LA. There's many schools, and then Boston, of course, for the Ivy Leagues mainly, and some other smaller markets regionally had some special arrangements for study abroad programs and whatnot. But yeah, so this was a market that he was targeting, and he started this before COVID, and post-COVID and political intrigue between the US and China has chopped this business in half and then some. So it's not fun. So yeah, this is that website. I can leave it here. So yeah, this is a problem, obviously. I mean, for the Chinese, not really for us, but it hurts my friend's business. Okay. Lots
Your
of
movie isn't available.
Movies not available?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Don't worry about it. I couldn't find it.
Uh,
Oh, you mean it's on YouTube?
yeah, the whole thing's on YouTube. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll paste it for you. Yeah.
Don't worry about it. I can find it.
Okay, no, it links here. Don't worry. Okay. Yes, lots of civil unrest in Hunan. That's a pretty province. Foreign direct investment plummets to a 30-year low. So we're approaching the 40-year low, which is basically when Nixon and Kissinger visited China, and it was, a dirt floor, literally. So we're approaching that number quickly. And the China real estate crisis spreading overseas with unfinished buildings, where the real estate developer, sells pre-builds, but then runs away with the rest of the money. And this is right in LA's downtown. So billion-dollar trophy tower halted as China pulls back. And if you think, there's zero Chinese exposure in our commercial real estate issue, clearly this is not the case. This is a billion-dollar project. A lot of people will get effed over downstream of this. So yeah.
Yeah, I read about that. That's just right across the street from some major locations, I think.
Yeah, yeah, and it's gonna be a huge eyesore, and it's gonna be lawsuit city. And then yet again, more corporate espionage, and he's got only got 4 months. That's like a slap on the wrist. That's like the Hunter Biden treatment. Gosh. What else is interesting? Uh, Chinese migrants to the US exceed 20,000 in 4 months. US urgently recruits Chinese translators. I mean, that could instantly be me to make some extra cash, but who am I helping, right? I'm helping soldiers get settled in America so they can wreak havoc later. Like, why would I do that? But this is a huge problem. And if I post an ad like on Chinese WeChat or something and said, "Hey, local translator and English tutor available," like I'm sure I'd be like booked up the wazoo. But then I'd be training, the evil guys. So let's not do that. Let me fix the text color here. And the Gen Z folks in China are basically giving up. They're lying flat. They're not going to school. They're not working. They're just mooching off their parents if they can, and just doing the bare bones. So that's a quarter, like 280 quarter billion people just chilling and playing video games and whatnot. And then it's always good when bankers are committing suicide. That's a market top if there ever was a signal, right? Besides shoeshine boy tips. But yes, Shanghai asset managers are committing suicide in like just kids my age. It's crazy. And then I have a cousin that this demographic fits as well. So I just hope he's okay, but we fell out of touch. China's iron rice bowl cracks. Millions of civil and government job losses. Millions face job losses over the next decade, and this affects primarily government workers. So that's the analogy of an iron rice bowl. So these are government jobs that are stable and secure, but that's not proving the case since China's liquidity crisis is from top to bottom. And office vacancy rates in Beijing and Shanghai hit record highs. So yes, it is insane. And with that, finally we're to our end, and we'll call it here so we can do our earnings trades for today. Thank you, Fala, for that list earlier. Let's run our poll one more time, and I would love to get everyone's opinion now of the markets. So you should see it on your screen. So by next Thursday, you think the S&P 500 will go bullish, sideways, or bearish? Okay. All right. That's a bunch of votes. All right. Let me end the poll and share the results. Looks like my sermon has created some more bearish activity. And it's only 43% bullish, 29% sideways, and 29% bearish. So thank you guys for voting. And then we can take a look at the market for now, and let's go to the ES. 5098. Holy cow. It's been a little bit choppy while we were doing our session. Let's look at Nvidia and see where that's at. 783. Okay. Look, I'm finally closing on my trades from yesterday. Now let's see Supermicro. Supermicro is 997. Holy cow, flirting with the $1,000 mark. Incredible. Okay. Awesome. And let's take a look at the greater slice of the market. Yeah, fairly green day. Yeah. And we gotta look at China stocks really quick. So here's FXI, Chinese large cap, of course. It is flirting with a new high. That's beautiful. Nice little high scaffold to hang themselves with. Let's pivot to KWeb, Chinese tech stocks, also pivoting up a little bit. CWeb for a little leverage. Let's look at Alibaba. Sell-off city here. This is an easy short. And then Baidu is my most profitable ticker. I just figuring out how to read. I just know how to read this really well. But yeah, these guys are not going to have a good time either. But yes, I hope people enjoy the current green days. And these suckers are buying calls, and we'll give it, a week or two, and then come in and eat their lunch. Excellent. And with that, let me stop the